Hey there guys, we're here in Tampa, Florida. Today we're doing a house wash and driveway. So you can see the driveway is pretty dirty. Doing that. Doing this area for them. And then the sidewalks. And you can see the house has some algae growing on it. It's also heavily oxidized. Gutters need some help, but we'll have to be careful of those. Christmas ornaments. We'll do the front sidewalk for them as well. It's pretty dirty. But you can see the front of the house has some algae. We did the windows for these people a couple weeks ago. I noticed that they had this growth on here. We will need to be careful about the paint. It's already damaged in spots. I'll make sure we point that out to them. There's some damage up here we'll have to be careful with. It's got some rot going on. So, I hit this fence for them. I don't think this has a gate, so I'll have to go around. Here's the gate. And you can see that this is pretty bad back here. It's had some patchwork over the years, but it's got a lot of water damage there. And there's some water damage up there that they're going to need to be aware of. So, algae growing on the windowsills, some, and on the house. All right, patio needs some help too. Get that cleaned up for him. All right, so we're gonna go around and start doing some protection, cover up outlets, cover up some of these spots that are the bigger holes and stuff. You can see there's paint damage here. Get that covered up for him so we don't fry any electronics. We'll do the house wash first and then do the driveways and stuff. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, we're gonna start on the back here. We're gonna put down a coat of SH and water. We're just downstreaming, so we're running at about 1.5%. This is gonna probably take a couple coats back here though. Again, we do need to be careful of this paint. It's really deteriorated, but we'll get as much of that green off as possible. So put down a couple coats, probably. Might need to pull out the dedicated soft wash system to get some of the worst parts, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get the SH running through here and get our first coat down. This is a really good example of why we don't use high pressure when we're doing when we're doing house washing, because all of this paint is very fragile and it would completely deteriorate if we were using pressure. These screens for them. It's not too hot today, so I'm going to be able to let this dwell for a little bit longer, so that's good. It'll save me some SH.
The reason I mention that, by the way, is we try to avoid letting the SH dry on the house or on screens and that type of stuff, because it can oxidize the paint if we let it dry and sit there for too long. So we try to keep it wet.
I didn't quote them on this screen, but it's small enough that I'm just going to do it for them. They had us out here, like I said, to do their windows and then this, so doing a little bit for them. Do this little pre-treat out here. This is slippery, it's so much algae. I'm not going to use any pressure washing on this patio out here because it is painted and that paint looks like it's in bad shape, so it has moss grown on it. You can see how green these are as well. I'll show you after on those, after it dwells for a little while. All right, we're gonna let that dwell in there for a little bit. And you can see it's already starting to fade, and bleach is starting to do its work. It's already starting to fade over here. So let that sit there for about another 5 or 10 minutes. Might need to wet it down again in a couple of the worst spots. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna probably bring it over here and do these spots. Hit these again real quick. All right, let that soak for a little bit. And we'll come back, see if it needs another hit. And then meanwhile, I'll start getting this stuff ready for doing the sidewalks, driveway. Do this little pre-treat. This is pretty bad. I'm still running bleach here, so I'll just hit it real quick. I normally don't bother pre-treating because it's just a waste of chemical. I usually post-treat, and that does fine, but this is pretty dirty, so can probably use it. There. Some of that staining might be rust. All right, switch over to rinse. Usually you can hear it, but you see the light go off. Yeah, I kind of hear it. So now we're on rinse. I'll bring this back over. All right. You can see this starting to fade back here already. I'm gonna probably have to hit it again with some bleach. Can you see that cornering off there a little bit? I'm gonna hit it, probably have to hit it again. It was on there pretty good. That is some pretty nasty stuff up there. That's probably going to need a couple of treatments. All right, well, I'm back here. I'm gonna hit this with another bit of bleach because it's still pretty soiled. That's where this remote comes in really handy. I don't have to walk all the way back to the truck. Alrighty. So we didn't quote this for them, but this stuff is really slippery back here. So I'm not gonna pressure wash it. I'm just using our low pressure gun to get some of this algae off, and I'll post treat it. I don't want these guys slipping on this out here. So you can see how it's very slippery when it's wet. So since we're doing the house anyway, I thought I'd throw this in. I'm gonna do the driveway and stuff here in a little bit. Put a little last SH on some of the harder stains on the back here. A lot of it is damage to the paint, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Whoop. All right, so we're gonna get this cleaned up. Like I said, we're gonna hit the house a little bit more and then get onto the driveway and patio, carport. You can see that from the paint damage here, that's why I'm not hitting it with the pressure washer. Just want to get some of the dirt off for them. Some black stuff. All right, I'll finish that up in a sec. I've got to rinse this off out here anyway, but let's take a look at it's like the third treatment of SH on some of the stuff out here. Yep, it's coming off. So you can see some of this is actually damage to the paint. that's where like the mold and mildew's actually gone into the paint. And because that plaster is coming off down there, I'm not gonna hit it real hard. I'm not gonna give it like any kind of pressure, but a lot of this is staining or roots that go right into the paint and some of the stuff. So you can see I'm rinsing this off, but I can't get too much of it because it's just too fragile. So rinse off much of this we can. Some of that's just staining on the paint. It's not organic anymore. So you can't get the stains off, but you can remove the organic. And the dirt, obviously. So, all right, we'll keep working on this, and I'll get back to you guys when I start working on the flat stuff. You can see this driveway probably has never been done, or at least not in years and years. So that is some heavy soiling there. So definitely gonna need to post treat that with some strong SH. So we're gonna keep working on this and get it rinsed off, treat it with SH. I'll be back with you in a bit. All right, guys, we're just wrapping up on this house. We did the house washing and the driveway and sidewalk. So you can see the sidewalk I just put SH on. It's going to continue to lighten, but that is significantly better, as is the driveway. We still have to put back some of the rugs and stuff out here, but I may ask her if she wants me to hold off on that because it's still wet from bleach. But this patio cleaned up nicely. Leaves have already gotten blown on it. This looks 100 times better back here. Like I said, I didn't charge them for this, but that'll continue to lighten up too. It's still wet from the bleach. We got rid of all the algae that was growing out here. Like I said, I had to be careful with this area because we have paint damage and we have rotten wood and stuff. Some of this stuff is just stains that isn't going to come off, but this whole wall was green. And that is not green anymore. You can see some of this staining down at the bottom. That's not going to really come off, and I can't really hit it any harder because that stucco is deteriorating. So, but these are all green through here. So we got that off. They're going to need another paint job and some siding work, but this looks a lot better than it did. It was, oh, I'm going to track dirt through here. Go back out this way. Looks a lot better. There was green on the front too. Let's take a look at that. This had green on it as well. And the front had algae all over it, and that is all gone now. You can see where somebody touched the house, and that is not dirt, it's just disrupting the oxidation that's on that paint, which is why we don't use, another reason why we don't use pressure. Because if we were using a wand that had pressure, that would have gotten stripes in it, zebra stripes and stuff. But this is just staining on the wood up there. That's not organics. That's gonna come off.